Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am Portia and today we are doing 3 things. A skincare review of the Swiitch Beauty products, the latest skin products. I will be discussing what a moisture impaired barrier is, and I will be discussing how I've managed to clear the breakouts that I got from an impaired moisture barrier. So if you're interested in that, come along, join me, and let's get into it. As you all know, we have had this pandemic, honey, and a lot of people have had skin issues as a result of wearing masks. We've called it maskne, when you basically develop acne around this area of the mouth, the chin, the jawline, sometimes even the cheeks, due to the prolonged use of a face mask, surgical masks or cloth masks. I'm not speaking about the masks that we put on for self-care. So this is also because a lot of people would be wearing makeup underneath the mask, so that coupled with the prolonged use of the mask would cause some kind of breakout or form of acne. I think there's also the thing of not having access to regular skin treatments, professional skincare. So be it your microneedling, microdermabrasion, your oxygen facials, your skin peels, all sorts of these like products and services that we would gain from estheticians or dermatologists that we no longer had access to. And for me, my skin was doing fine in the beginning of lockdown. I was maintaining it, and then out of nowhere I just received these breakouts, and I attributed it to maskne. But over time I was like, nah, I'm at home most of the time, I'm not wearing makeup, and when I do go out it's just to get essentials, and I'm wearing a mask for like less than 2 hours. Like, that could not be the reason. I had to pin it down to what I deemed as an impaired moisture barrier. An impaired moisture barrier is when the skin's protective barrier gets damaged, causing tears within the skin. They may be invisible, but what this causes is irritants to enter the skin, and then the skin's barrier not being able to protect basically what goes in and out. So irritants, and then you're also unable to maintain and to trap moisture within the skin. So basically think of the skin's moisture barrier as a bodyguard that keeps the good in and the bad out. And in our case, the good is moisture and the bad is irritants and all sorts of radicals that can affect the skin in its entirety. The symptoms of an impaired moisture barrier include redness, rosacea, dehydration, peeling, tightness, dryness, breakouts. There are many more. And for me specifically, I was dealing with the breakouts. So you can have all of these at the same time. For instance, I even had dry spots on my skin. If I would be like moisturizing or washing it, I would feel that some parts are more dry than others, because my skin is oily combination, so like it was a bit unusual for it to be at that level. What causes the moisture barrier to get irritated or for it to become impaired? Exfoliating too often, overly drying cleansers, alcohol-based toners, being exposed to the sun, daily use of ingredients like ascorbic acid or L-ascorbic acid, that is your vitamin C, high concentrations of citrus, essential oils, drinking alcohol, your diet, dry climate, being on airplanes too often, air conditioners, home skin devices like microneedlers or microdermabrasion devices, skipping the use of a moisturizer, allergic reaction, medications, aging, as well as some prescriptions that you might get from a dermatologist whose side effect is to dry the skin. How do I repair it? You keep it simple and gentle. Treat your skin like it is that of a baby. You cut out all exfoliants, cut out most actives, not all actives, but usually the actives that assist with exfoliating. This will include your sonic brushes, either the silicone ones or the usual brushes that people tend to use. Acid-based serums, cleansers, peels, creams, anything that is acid-based. enzyme-based masks and peels, facial scrubs, and harsh washcloths. The other thing to do is to avoid washing your face with extremely hot water. So in my case, I wasn't necessarily washing my face with hot water, but I was steaming, and this was also due to the COVID pandemic. Obviously, I'm not making these claims. This was just like the kinds of practices that people did after having gone outside. You'd come back home and you'd steam with eucalyptus oil or whatever kind of menthol, and that steam would supposedly help with the nasal passages and all of that. But now what it did to me is it was penetrating the skin, and that was what caused partly the impairment of the moisture barrier. And lastly, wear sunscreen. Absolutely important to wear sunscreen, because when your skin is exposed to the UVA and UVB rays, it does cause dehydration and dryness, and which leads to an impaired moisture barrier. So now we're going to jump into my current skin routine, but while I'm doing that, I'll be speaking to you guys about throughout this like 2 to 3 months of me having these breakouts. How did I deal with it? What did I use? Why did I use what I used? Firstly, I'm going to go in with my Skoon Gel to Milk cleanser. So when I had these breakouts, I had to absolutely stop using this cleanser, and that is because it is gel. Although it's a gel to milk, it is gel and water based. So basically, when you are experiencing an impaired moisture barrier, you need to switch to a gentle cleanser. So this can be a milk cleanser, any kind of cleanser that is not gel, because those tend to be too harsh and they strip away at the skin's moisture barrier. The other thing is I had to cut out the 60-second rule, so I had to resort to washing my face to 20 to 30 seconds at a time. The cleanser that I ended up using was the Dove Beauty Bar, and I know that this is kind of like a contentious topic because a lot of people speak against the use of foaming cleansers. A lot of people speak against the use of bars or soaps, and for me, I had to do my research, and I consulted with a friend who is an esthetician. Well, she is studying to become an esthetician, and her recommendation was that I use Dove soap because it is mainly made up of surfactants and moisturizer. It is a very mild formula, and with a very monitored use on the skin for a short period of time, it can play that role of a mild cleanser. Secondly, I had to replace my toner because my go-to toner for the AM is the Portia Pomegranate Toner. And because you are now dealing with this impaired moisture barrier, you have to cut out all of those acids and actives, and this includes salicylic acid, which is a key ingredient in that toner. So as hydrating as that toner is, the salicylic acid wasn't going to cut it. So I had to do some trial and error. I was trying to find a toner that would work, but it's difficult because Dis-Chem had discontinued that rose water toner, which really sucks. I literally was like, it's fine, I don't need it. If I'm struggling, I'm not going to try a new one. I went and purchased different ones. Like I even got this Nature Vital rose water toner, and it didn't agree with my skin because it is highly fragranced. I mean, it's got good ingredients, and I probably would go back to it now that my skin is in a less volatile state. But at the time, I could not commit to it because I was also still trying to put my skin on this elimination diet. So if something didn't work immediately, I cut it out. So I was like, it's alright, I don't need a toner, keep it simple. So then I was advised to get this Avene thermal spray, and this basically just rehydrates the skin. It's literally water, like that's all that's in this can. It's water that's in an aerosol, and you just spray it like that, because part of what a toner does, apart from the hydration, it allows your serums and essence products and whatever to penetrate deeper in the skin, because the skin is now more hydrated. So then I use this Avene thermal spray for that purpose. I then would go in with this Vichy Vichy Mineral 89 Serum, which I absolutely love till this day. I would use this in the morning and in the evening because it contains hyaluronic acid. This time I'm not going to use it because I mean my skin moisture is not that impaired anymore. Well, it's not impaired at all, so I just keep it for my PM routine. Now I'm back to my Skoon Wonder Serum. I had to hang this one up for a bit because obviously it contains vitamin C. I was really sad because this is like one of my favorite serums, but now I'm happy to be using it again. I hope you guys are not getting confused because I'm saying 3 different things while doing another. So I would go in then with that hyaluronic acid serum, and now my skin is, you know, getting the hydration that it needs. I would keep it rather simple. After that, I would just put on my moisturizer and my sunscreen and I would be done. But now that we are also in the stage of maintaining the skin, I have incorporated some of the Swiitch Beauty products. So this is the Swiitch Beauty Water Gel. I absolutely love it. It basically says 2 to 3 pumps on bare skin. And let's see, the ingredients include water, glycerin, rose water, ceramide, shea butter. Rose water we love because of its soothing and anti-inflammatory properties. The ceramide seals in moisture. The shea butter nourishes without clogging pores. That's the claim. And my thing was, is it really though? Because I've known of shea butter to be like a very comedogenic oil or cream or butter. But through my use of this product, I've been using it for some time now, maybe about 3 weeks, and it's done what it claims to do. It does not clog the pores. So Swiitch Beauty needs to give us the tea. Like, what did you guys do? Did you separate the molecules, hunty? Like, I personally want to know because it's so hydrating and it does plump the skin as it claims. Gives the skin that extra glow. And one thing I absolutely hated when my skin was in that impaired state, I didn't have access to these actives that will give my skin that plump or the glow that you usually get from these kinds of products. And then after that, I go in with my moisturizer. So I've been using this Olay Totally Faked moisturizer throughout. I still love it to this day. And it contains niacinamide. Niacinamide helps brighten, it helps with pigmentation, it helps with protecting the skin against free radicals, it helps with rosacea, all of the things that go back to the moisture barrier being impaired. But what I did is I added glycerin to my moisturizer, which was something that I was also advised to do. And that's because you can literally buy glycerin from Pick n Pay or Clicks. It's in a little bottle, it's very affordable, and you add it to your moisturizer for that element of hydration. So this is the moisturizing part, and then of course after this we go for our sunscreen, hunty. So I've been using this Every Sun sunscreen. It's 50 high in terms of SPF, and it's for kids, but that doesn't really matter. Would I advise a sunscreen for someone with darker skin? Not really, because it does give me a little bit of a cast. For me, it's not that noticeable, but I would not really recommend. So I don't really subscribe to the 2-finger rule, guys. Personally, I tried it, it was too much. I basically do 1 finger, like that's it. I'm sorry, it was too much for me. Like, it would sting my eyes. So I would just rather reapply throughout the day. So this is basically 1 finger's worth, and I just use the residue over my eyes because you are supposed to put sunscreen on your eyes, but it stings if you use a lot. Okay, so that is our morning routine done, dusted, and I've given you my current skin routine, but I've also told you guys what I've been doing, you know, throughout the time when my skin was impaired. And the thing about this, guys, it ebbs and flows. So sometimes your skin is nice and clear, sometimes your skin is more problematic. It literally ebbs and flows. It takes a knock on your confidence, but like The nice thing about being indoors now is that you can literally just deal with it privately, because you're been to go. I would even put like a double filter on my Instagram, the Paris filter, because I could not stand seeing my skin in that manner. Let's chat about the PM skin routine. Obviously, I'm not going to demonstrate that because but in the past, I had a locked down, beautiful skin routine. I was using my retinol, I was using, you know, as long as those lavish and nice, I would do my enzyme exfoliating mask, but once the moisture barrier got impaired, those things had to clog out. And then basically I had to work on a similar routine to my day, but one that's more adjusted to night. And the first thing I had to do was interrogate my use of oil cleansing, because even that is a culprit in an impaired moisture barrier. I feel like I was overdoing it. I would oil cleanse every night or almost every night, and I was just oil cleanser happy. Like, guys, I bought so many oil cleansers, let me show you. So I was an oil cleanser junkie, and I recommend all of these 100%. So I was using the simple one. I loved it so much. Yona is simple. It has grapeseed oil. It has no fragrance. So if you're that's sensitive to fragrance, you might like it. Problem is, it literally smells like grapeseed oil, and if you don't like that smell, you won't enjoy it. But the thing about cleansing, it's on your face for like a minute max. So for me, it didn't affect me. And then I got these two from the Body Shop. Same ingredients, but the one is in an oil form, the one is in a balm. I prefer the balm. So this is the Chamomile Cleansing Oil. Lena is the Chamomile Cleansing Butter. I prefer the balm. Reason I prefer the balm now is because it's easier to control. It's less messy, especially when you have makeup on, but it's like still the same concept. And then of course my fave, the Dermalogica one. I've been on this one, like I've spoken about it so many times. The Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse. Issue about it, Yona, is that it has essential oil, so it's very fragrant. So if you're looking for something that's on the fragrance free-ish side, I would go for the simple. And then if you don't like that smell, this one, the Chamomile, has a very, very gentle smell. I had to interrogate my use of oil cleansers, and that's because, yes, as I've said, I was overdoing it. I became an oil cleanser junkie, and my skin's moisture barrier got impaired also as a result of that. So I had to pause, like completely pause my use of oil cleansing. I had to resort to micellar water. I was using this rose hip micellar water from Dischem. It's very gentle. And I was just using it with the cotton pad on my hands when I'm removing my makeup. And then at night, I really wasn't oil cleansing. Like, I'll tell you straight up, I was not double cleansing every night. So then I would go in with my Dove soap at night. And then I would go in with my Avene thermal spray again. And then I would go in with the Vichy 89 serum again. And then I incorporated a new step, which was this Benzac AC5 gel. And that's because it contains benzoyl peroxide and it is water-based. It targets the fatty acids within the sebum. And all you need to do with this, I stand it 100%. Like, I want to tell anyone right now, but of course I'm not a professional, but if you are looking into clearing your acne or a breakout, try this out. Like, try this out. All you need to do is spot treat. So on the areas where you do have the acne or you do have the breakouts, you take this, but I only incorporated this much later, like maybe after 3 weeks or a month of just bringing back the moisture barrier to its normal state, because this is a bit drying. So hence I had to hydrate so much, you know, throughout the whole process. So then you'll take a small amount of this cream and you literally apply it on the areas where you have the acne in a very thin layer. For some people, when you start out, you're supposed to use it on bare skin, where you basically just put it there and let it dry out, and then you wash your skin again. Because some people can't sleep with it on upon their first try. It does really clear acne, but if your skin is sensitive, it might just be too drying and then it will send you back into that spiral. So you need to be very cautious, test it out, patch tests and all of those things. So I just went in immediately. I applied it on those areas, and then afterwards I would go in again with my Olay moisturizer, and you know, I'll do like a layer on top, and then I would go in with either my sweet almond oil as an occlusive or straight up Vaseline. In the beginning, when I was using this treatment, I feel like I went overboard. I would not rub it in. I did not use a thin layer. I just would plop it there. You'd even still see the whites, and then that would and then on top of that, I'd put my sweet almond oil. Everything would mesh up together, and I feel like it worked for the first week, and then afterwards it was just not effective. So then that's why I'm saying you need to use a thin layer, and then on top you do your occlusive. I would recommend the Vaseline in the beginning because I'm not sure if the sweet almond oil is not comedogenic enough, because your skin needs to be very oil-free when you are using this product, the Benzac. So I would recommend the Vaseline, and that's because the petroleum jelly, a lot of people think, ooh, petroleum jelly. You can use it on your skin. When it is on human skin, it's not comedogenic. So it won't clog your pores, it won't do anything, it's not fragranced, it's absolutely perfect for acneic skin breakouts, even when you are experiencing downtime from chemical peels. As long as it's that we do our microdermabrasion throughout that downtime, it's also perfect to use Vaseline. And then over time, I started incorporating the Benzac AC5 into my morning routine as well. And I'll do it at night, I'll do it in the day, sometimes I'll alternate, and it completely cleared the breakouts, like they were gone. And then after that, I had to go into the maintenance part. So I've shown you guys the routine now that I do to maintain. In the evening, I am now officially back to my retinoids. I'm so happy. So I use the Skoon Retinal at night. I still use my Skoon Gel to Milk cleanser. When I am double cleansing, I'll use this Body Shop Chamomile, you know, cleansing butter. And I'll still do this only when I'm wearing makeup. Like, I'm so traumatized from this oil cleansing business that I cannot commit to doing it every day. I'm scared that my skin's moisture barrier will go back there. So then I keep it very simple. I'll go in with this, that, and then I love now the because obviously at night I can't be using my Portia M toner, because salicylic acid, then retinol, it's a lot of actives at once. So I've started using the Swiitch Beauty Hero Spray, and this is their glass edition. It has niacinamide as well, so it's really perfect. Like, I use it as a toner basically, and to hydrate the skin even further. I will still use my Avene Thermal Mist to keep the skin rehydrated. And then I go in with my retinol. Now I have stopped using the Benzac AC5 gel. So I go in with my retinol, and then I don't use a moisturizer on top of the retinol. I feel like it's quite moisturizing. And then I go straight on with the sweet almond oil again, or I use my my Vaseline, and that's it. That's the skincare routine. And of course, don't forget your lip balm. So Labello or the Vaseline, lip therapy or whatever. So that is the video of how I have managed to, you know, fix my impaired moisture barrier, how I have managed to maintain it post that, as well as my tiny review on the Swiitch Beauty products that I was gifted by Beauty on Tap. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful and informative and educational. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Mwah!